Welcome everyone. This workshop is going to explore activities for children and young people with special educational needs and disabilities, often referred to as SEND. How activities can support development, well-being and inclusion. This session is all about helping families feel confident in identifying the different types of activities and confident to speak to activity providers when looking for activity opportunities. We will be covering the benefits of going to activities, the types of activities and how to access them, things to think about and what to look for when visiting activities, where to look for activity information and where to get help to find activity information. We'll also talk about inclusion and reasonable adjustments. Activities offer so much more than just being fun. They help to build confidence, independence and a sense of belonging. They support social skills and friendships, communication in its many forms and teamwork. They contribute to feeling good and an overall well-being. For families, they can provide a chance to do something fun together, a chance to see children and young people achieve, and can be an opportunity for a break from the routine of the necessary daily routines of life. Activities are generally grouped into three categories: universal, targeted and specialist. We will go into each in more detail in the coming slides. Each type has different access routes and different levels of support. Universal are open to all but offers low levels of support. Targeted are for a specific group, and access to specialist is based on assessed need, offering the highest levels of support. Universal activities are for everyone. There's no assessment or referral to join. You make your own arrangements and go as often as you can. Siblings can sometimes attend too. Just check the age group. While universal activities are open to everyone, they do not offer individual support, but they can be inclusive with the right adjustments. If children need specific support, an adult can often attend with them. Some universal activities ask that an adult is present for all children, regardless of support need. Here are some examples of universal activities. These are the everyday community options that could be used by all the family. Libraries, museums, galleries, leisure centres, swimming pools, scouts, girl guiding, youth clubs, play gyms, stay and play, holiday clubs, sports clubs, dance, drama, art and music clubs. Locally, places like Cliff House, Crow's Nest Park Adventure Playground and Central Youth Club offer inclusive universal activities. If you'd like to know more, contact the local offer or the activity provider directly. Remember, universal activities focus on enjoyment and the experience itself. Staff may not have specialist training that some young people require, and the ratio of staff to children is usually low. Universal do offer valuable experience that can be enjoyed by all children and young people, and when run inclusively, they help normalise difference and a sense that everyone is welcome. Targeted activities help children and young people with specific needs experience activities with other children with similar needs. Like universal, there's no assessment or referral to join. You can make your own arrangements and go as often as you can. Siblings can sometimes attend, but that will need to be double checked with the provider. The cost, ideally, would be the same as any other similar activity. Individual care is not provided, but they do offer more tailored support. Targeted activities are designed for specific groups who may face barriers to accessing universal activities. Like universal, the focus is on the activity experience, but more tailored to the needs of the group. Sometimes targeted activities have been supported with funding from local authorities or charities. Staff will have some knowledge and experience of SEND, and reasonable adjustments will be used to meet some individual needs, but individual support for complex needs is not provided. There is also a higher staffing ratio than at universal, but one-to-one support isn't provided. Local examples include Bumpy Motorcycle Training and Activity Centre. Bumpy provide off-road buggy and quad passenger ride sessions in the school holidays. Central Stars Youth Club, a youth club for 8 to 25-year-olds with SEND, provided by Central Youth Club. Pennine Gymnastics Additional Needs Sessions, weekly gymnastics class for those who would benefit from a quieter, less busy class with coaches on hand. This is a parent-carer assisted session. Parent carers are to work with their child. If you'd like to know more, contact the local offer or the activity provider directly. Before we move on from universal and targeted, we're going to talk about inclusion and reasonable adjustments. The dictionary definition of inclusion is the policy or practice of making sure that everyone in society has access to resources and opportunities. Inclusion is being welcomed, feeling we belong and valued. Inclusion happens where people believe in it, where people work together for everyone's benefit. Under the Equality Act 2010, employers and service providers are legally required to make adjustments to ensure equal access to opportunities for disabled individuals. Reasonable adjustments involve understanding different perspectives and a willingness to adapt, sometimes having to be creative to reduce or remove barriers. Here are some examples of what inclusion and reasonable adjustments might look like at activities. The cost stays the same as an equivalent activity regardless of need. Sensory-friendly environments. General support provided across an activity, so no individual is singled out. Adapting activities and resources. Essential carers being able to attend where this support would otherwise be unavailable. Inclusion benefits everyone, not just those with SEND. It encourages children to play together and it normalises individuality. It helps to build awareness, empathy, knowledge and skills, and creates environments where people think about what they can do to make a difference. Specialist activities are for children with complex needs. Complex needs are defined as physical or mental impairment which is likely to have a substantial and long-term adverse effect on his or her ability to carry out normal day-to-day activities. An assessment is usually required to attend specialist activities. In Kirklees, this is carried out by the Children with a Disability Service. Assessments consider where disability is likely to have a substantial and long-term adverse effect on the day-to-day life of a child or young person. They consider if the use of universal or targeted activities are available before specialists are considered. Specialist activities can usually meet complex support needs, which can give families a break from caring responsibilities. Specialist activities are usually offered at a set time and siblings or other family members are unable to attend. The local specialist activity is provided by the Young People's Activity Team, who provide recreational activities for 8 to 18-year-olds. When thinking about activities, it's important to do your own research. Think about your child's interests. Maybe speak to other parents and speak to activity providers. Activity providers want children and young people to have a good time. They want to get to know your child and make sure that they do. In some cases, it may be necessary for parents and providers to work together on reasonable adjustments. When looking for an activity, consider your child's interests, strengths and any barriers they might face. Think about travel and how far you can travel for the right activity. Support needs to take part in the activity and any support needs additional to the activity, such as personal care or medication. Consider what kind of environment they'll feel comfortable in. It's a good idea to make contact with the activity provider and ask questions. Use this as a chance to find out what typical sessions look like. Get a clear understanding of support that is available, how busy it gets, what the staff numbers are, how the activities run, are the children left to play or given instruction or coaching, and if parents are required to stay. Activities often use registration forms, which give them a little bit of information. Sometimes they may ask for more detail when there are SEND needs. You may want to ask questions about their experience of working with children with SEND. If they have experience of working with children with similar needs to your child, and how they get to know children and help them to settle in. As well as the registration forms, it's important to share any useful information that will help activities provide the best experience. They need to know all about your child, all the positive things, as well as the things that might need some help with. It's good to let them know if your child has experience of going to activities already, anything that might be worrying them, and any other essential information. Visiting an activity can help you and your child decide if it's right for them. Look for welcoming staff who are involved with the activities. Look for premises that are suitable for your child as well as the activity, and get a feeling of whether your child feels comfortable. Notice if the staff speak to your child as well when you visit. Do they encourage them to join in? If your child isn't used to going to activities, you may want to visit more than once before your child feels comfortable to join for the full activity. There are lots of ways to find activities. Here are a few examples. From websites like the local offer, to support via Kirklees Families Together, or word of mouth from other parents and support groups. Thank you for listening, and if you need help or have any questions, please make contact with the local offer.